What is up, pleasure babies? On this week's episode, we're gonna talk about orgasms. And when I say orgasms, I mean orgasms of the vulva. Not that penis owner orgasms don't matter. It's just that we take a little bit longer to come. So I just thought it would be a good idea to hop on and kind of give you a lowdown on what an orgasm is, what it feels like, and kind of a very, very layman's term of how to achieve one, okay? But first, I would like to take this moment to say, okay, last Monday I said thank you for 5,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden we're at 7,000? Like, the fuck happened? You are making my channel level the fuck up. Like, thank you so much for all of your support. This is fucking wild. Who knows? Maybe next week I'll be like, oh, would you look at that? We hit 8,000 subs. Like, the fuck is happening? I've only been doing this for a couple of months, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So thank you so much. But if you are new here, please do not forget to subscribe and smash that like, sorry, too much saliva was building in my mouth. And smash that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, well, there's a reason to subscribe, because every single Monday I drop my video and I won't miss it because I fucking moved into my new place and still filmed a damn motherfucking video while posting 2 to 3 TikToks a day. So you know what? I'm going to my regular full-time job. So like, I'm blowing myself away here. And I mean, like, yeah, like I said, y'all are the supporters. Y'all are what's motivating me and giving me that drive. So thank you so much again for the fucking 50 millionth time. I know I'll be saying it probably every single video now because we're just climbing. We're climbing. So instead of me rambling, let's just climb into our first topic. What is an orgasm? Now, for some of you, you already might know what it is. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more spicy. By spicy, I mean sciencey. So if you don't like these sciencey terms, then you're gonna wanna skip through this. But I really encourage you to listen. So orgasms are a series pretty much of muscle contractions and spasms happening in your genital region. While this is happening, your body releases endorphins and oxytocin. Oxytocin and dopamine mainly. So what does oxytocin do? Oxytocin is more of that love drug, that feel good. You actually release it when you're giving somebody a hug, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, but it's also a natural pain reliever. So if you're getting headaches, cramps, anything like that, your body will release oxytocin to help kind of subside that pain. And that is exactly why I say self-pleasure is amazing while you are on your menses or your period, or it's the time of your month, whatever the fuck you call it, is give yourself pleasure session or with a partner. So while oxytocin is being released at the point of your orgasm, dopamine is going to be released throughout your sexual experience. And it will release another surge when you have achieved your orgasm. So that is oxytocin and dopamine colliding and going pfft. And dopamine is meant to enhance your pleasure, so you feel more pleasure. So we want to hit that O. However, sometimes that is not the case. But in this episode, we are talking about orgasms. So let's roll into what the fuck an orgasm feels like. So everybody experiences an orgasm a little bit differently. Some are longer, some are shorter, some are uncontrollable body spasms, some are also very constricted and tight and freaking you can't feel or hear anything. But what a lot of people can say about an orgasm is that it is fucking euphoric. It is something like no other. Imagine you are walking into the ocean and you are hit with a tidal wave, and then you know it's only a certain amount of time before that next wave comes. That is very similar to an orgasm. Some people feel it in waves where it keeps hitting into you and you keep getting that uncontrollable toe curling feeling where everything else in your vicinity, in your room, does not fucking matter. The cat could be meowing at the back door and you would not let it in. The fucking ceiling could be falling in and you would not even give a fuck, because guess what? you're having an orgasm. But let's touch down on a little bit of these benefits to having an orgasm. I mean, besides the fact of becoming a vampire and living forever, just kidding. But when your body does release these hormones, you actually do increase your lifespan. That is if you are having an orgasm regularly. And by regularly, I don't mean like 6 times a day. Don't be fucking ridiculous. But there is science to back this up. I just don't think y'all are interested in it enough, and I don't know how to say some of those words. So I'm not even gonna bother touching base on that. Just more sex equals vampire, okay? Remember that. Let's go with something that I do know. Having more sex and having an orgasm will increase your immune system and give you that boost that you are needing during this pandemic. Now, I'm not here to say that your orgasm is gonna save your motherfucking life and protect you from COVID, but it sure will help boost your immunity. And another plus is that you're gonna have glowing skin. See, everyone asks me, oh, Miranda, what do you use in your skin? And I say sex. Well, I don't say sex, but I'm gonna start saying sex because all those feel good, happy hormones that are released when I have an orgasm is giving me this goddamn glow with a little bit of highlighter and a little bit of foundation, but it's the orgasm. But the biggest point of all is the more orgasms that you have, the more vaginal contractions that you have, and the more pelvic floor contractions you have. So guess what? You are working out your pelvic floor muscles, and your pelvic floor muscles will then increase your chance of having a stronger, longer orgasm. And that is why, ladies, we motherfucking Kegel. Now let's talk about the female penis or the vulva penis. Because that's really what it is at the end of the day. Ours just doesn't hang out a shit ton like a penis does. But if it does, that is a-okay too. You might want to get it checked by a doctor if it's like super fucking long. But fun fact, your clit actually never stops growing. So there's potential one day to have a hiiiii clit. All vulvas come in all different shapes and sizes, and same with clitorises. So let's talk about our little tiny penis that we have. That is covered underneath the hood. While the clitoris is just the tip on the outside, located right at the top of our vulva, you know, underneath that hood, you got the little tiny bean right in between there. That is just the tip. There is 3 to 5 inches of clitoris in total on the inside. So you know that G spot, yeah, it's not really there. What actually we're experiencing is a clitoral orgasm. It's just internal instead of external. But what happens to the external portion of the clitoris and the internal, but we can actually see the external, is that it becomes engorged with blood, which gives it more sensation and allows it to become more sensitive during arousal. That is exactly why I say every vulva is different, because not everybody likes external stimulation. Some ladies or some vulva owners just like internal because their clitoris is too sensitive. Now, for me personally, I go through phases where my clit is super not sensitive or insensitive, and then it goes from being hypersensitive. It depends on where I am in my cycle, and really case dependent on what fucking underwear I was wearing and if I was wearing underwear. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just my vulva and that's just how it works. However, if I am extra sensitive and my partner's going to town, then I will just gently guide his hand away, or, you know, just tell him to back the fuck off in a very, very nice way. Now, don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, what I am trying to say is that the clitoris has absolutely no other function rather than fucking pleasure. So what are you doing? Flick your motherfucking bean, whether it's on the inside or the outside, whatever you like, you should be touching it, okay? Because we want to be like vampires. How many more times do I need to say that? Okay? Live forever. Okay, yeah. So what are some physical signs that your lady or your vulva owner is experiencing a orgasm? Well, one of them is an increased heart rate. Next is gonna be their skin is gonna be flushed and fucking pink. Fuck. Now, not for everybody, but your toes will curl or your hands will curl. You know, it's gonna be fucking intense, so be fucking ready. But some orgasms do come in at a lower frequency. So remember that it's not always gonna be earth-shaking, pulsating. Sometimes it's just minor, and that's okay. An increase in muscle tension. Fuck, what the fuck? When have I ever sneezed during an orgasm, Dylan?
I'm just kidding.
He's high, and he's not actually high. I should really state that he doesn't. Nobody sneezes during an orgasm.
I do.
I've only seen that in a movie.
I sneeze when I orgasm.
I've never seen you eat. I've never seen you fart. If you farted during an orgasm, I don't know if we would be here right now. Let's talk about the damage that you are doing when you are faking your orgasm. And it's not helping anybody out, but it's really gonna harm you and your relationship. Whether it's with somebody you're consistently fucking, or whether it's with a hookup that you are casually seeing, or maybe it's a one-night stand. Not so much the one-night stand, because whatever, fuck it. If you didn't hit your O, you're probably just not gonna give them another chance, especially if you were just looking for a hookup. But we're gonna talk about faking your orgasm in a situationship, relationship type of fucking fuck buddy type of situation. Okay, so they're catching their nut and you're not catching yours. So when you're like faking it, what do you think the chances of you are ever catching your O ever again is gonna be? It's gonna be pretty slim, because they already think that what they're doing is adequate for what you need, and it's not. You need to communicate that over. Also, I have said this in a couple of my TikToks, where you start sleeping with somebody or you haven't slept with them yet and they're like, oh my God, I can make every girl come. I am like king or queen or whatever the fuck of multiple orgasms. When bitch, you can't even make me come once, okay? But some little lady or little vulva owner down the line for you have fucking lied and made you feel like you were a king and you had some magic in between your legs or fucking a magic tongue, when really you don't. And I'm not gonna put up with that, neither should you. You should be able to communicate that over to your partner or your buddy, whoever you are fucking. You should be able to communicate over to them that, hey, like maybe if we did this, I like my stimulation this way, like let's try this out. You need to have that communication. The more honest you are about actually not achieving your orgasm, and you have to be nice about it and approach it in a very, very good manner, because remember, men have very large egos, so you don't want to damage that too much. However, you do want to say what is going on, and guess what? They're gonna try that much harder, because at the end of the day, they want you to come just as much as they want to come. Let's not be selfish here. Let's bridge this orgasm gap. And remember, men, penis owners, if you are watching foreplay, just because she had an orgasm in her foreplay session doesn't mean she's not gonna have another one, because maybe the stars are aligning today and maybe she's gonna go for that 2, that 3, or that 4, and then you can feel like then you have the magic in between your legs. Now, babies, to wrap this video up, we're gonna talk about how to actually hit your O. But first, coffee. Because this is technically like live. I mean, it's not live, but it's Monday morning and I'm fucking filming because I was a lazy piece of shit yesterday and didn't film. So now I have to film and edit before I go to my regular full-time job. And the reason why I suggest doing it in a self-pleasure session is because nobody knows your body better than you know your own. And I mean, there's no goal set in place where you have to hit your orgasm. This is just for learning and understanding your own anatomy and where those sensations are happening and what sensations feel good to you. Hence why it's a little bit easier if you do it by yourself than with your partner, trying to explain, yo, that doesn't feel good. Okay, that doesn't feel good. Okay, this feels okay. But if you could go a little bit faster, a little bit slower, a little bit, you know, there's too much correction. So if you can figure out how to please yourself, then you can translate that over to your partner and skip a lot of learning steps and frustrating things that might happen, and a little bit of an ego hit to your partner. Not to say that letting their ego go a little bit isn't going to be good for them, but I mean, we want to kind of eliminate them from feeling like a total piece of shit just because we don't really necessarily understand our bodies. So yeah, I just want you to take some pressure off of yourself, because just know that 2/3 of women actually don't achieve orgasm through penetration, or they achieve orgasm through clitoral stimulation and then penetrative sex, or penetrative sex with clitoral stimulation at the exact same time. Everybody is different, so that is why it's really important for you to understand how you can hit your O. So let's get started on our self-pleasure session. So no, I'm not gonna sit here and show you how I self-pleasure. I'm just gonna walk you through kind of what to do. So first off, you are going to get in the mood. So play some sexy music, maybe touch some of your erogenous zones, your neck, your ears, your inner thighs, your nipples, down your body. Get yourself all turned on and lean over into that top dresser drawer and grab some lube. If you do not have any lube, feel free to use some coconut oil. That is pH balanced enough, if it is organic with no fillers in it or anything, to use that as a lubrication. But with this lubrication, it is gonna be so much easier for things to feel good, because let's not forget that our vulva is not self-lubricating, but our vagina is. But sometimes our vagina just doesn't wanna get all lubed up. So to prevent chafing or any irritation, we want a good glide. So please grab that lubrication and let's get started. So we are gonna start with stroking around the outside, the labia minora and the labia majora. You're gonna work your way down either side, and you're kind of teasing around the clitoris and not directly stimulating it. From there, you are going to do what I like to call the inverted peace sign here, and you are going to go down in between your lips and pull back up, slightly pulling the hood of the clitoris. Then you are going to eventually figure out whether you like to be stroked sideways, up and down, circular, starting off light and gently starting to increase your pressure. At this point now, you can slowly start ringing around the opening of your vagina, maybe doing a little bit of honey dipping where you're dipping your fingers in, getting some of that natural lubrication that we have officially, hopefully, created. And you're gonna bring that back to drawing little circles around your clitoris. Now, if you are used to more of a thrusting motion or you enjoy that, you can add that into the mix, adding like some thrusting with the clit stroking. That will kind of trigger your brain that it is about to go down, baby. While you were learning your body and you were slowly starting to stroke your clitoris, and maybe now you're getting a little bit more intense, you can start contracting your pelvic floor muscles. Like I said, that is gonna pump and drive blood into your clitoris and make it engorged and making it a lot more easy to feel those sensations. And on top of that, it can amplify your orgasm. And we're gonna start doing some deep belly breathing. So where you're breathing in through your mouth and filling up your belly, and then and letting it out, and that is gonna help generate all that energy that we're receiving from our vulva and circulate it throughout our body so that we can heighten our experience. Now, do not be deterred, because honestly, it takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to actually reach climax. So please take your time. There is no time frame on this. That is just their average time frame, but just know that 2/3 of women actually can't achieve orgasm with just penetration. So a lot of the time we are left to be doing clitoral stimulation, but fuck, we are so lucky to actually have the clitoris on the outside so that we can actually do some self-pleasure while we are in the bedroom as well. I described this little pleasure session, we'll call it, with our fingers, but you can feel free to use a toy that might get you there a little bit faster. The reason why I chose to do your hands is because this is a really good palpatory exercise, so you can actually feel those different sensations. And sometimes when you're in the bedroom or you're in with a hookup, you don't always have a toy. So the best way to get you off is always gonna be to get you off with your fingers. I could go on and on and on about how to actually do self-pleasure and maybe solely do a video on a self-pleasure session kind of guided by myself, but that is not in this video. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can drop them below, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram. I do my best to get back to you. However, there is a ton of fucking questions. Please try to limit it to one question, because I'm receiving a lot of messages that are having 6 to 8, and unfortunately I just don't have the time to answer in full length, because I would need like 3 + 4 days, and the questions will keep piling up. And like I said, if you enjoyed this video, or you felt like you learned something from it, or maybe you did a self-pleasure session to it, whatever it might be, please give it a thumbs up, and please do not forget to subscribe. Happy Monday, babies, and I will see you next week. Love you. Oh, and drop your video requests down below, because I'm looking to freaking get some more content going here for y'all, okay? I love you. Bye.